and it's live for productivity. Live for productivity. Okay. This chapter is exactly what Zach's talking about. It's exactly what Davile is talking about. It's exactly what many of you are talking about in terms of taking action. Productive action transforms lives. Transforms lives. And on page the 157, Gary has underlined the following quote: putting together a life of extraordinary results simply comes down to getting the most out of what you do when what you do matters. I'm going to read that one more time. Putting together a life of extraordinary results simply comes down to getting the most out of what you do when what you do matters. It's as simple as this, Limitless. If you've time blocked 1 hour of lead generation, then for 1 hour you lead generate. You don't prepare to lead generate. You don't figure out your call list. You lead generate. Because in that 1 hour, you can get more done and talk to more people than you can do with the other 23 hours of the day. And what Zach said and what Davile said and what Terry said is that Adrian is able to take that time block and actually just do it. I love, and here's an example. I'll go into his office and I'll ask him a question about something, and he'll say, I don't know the answer. Let's just call him right now. And he dials the line. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I got to talk to you some more. He's like, no, let's just call him. You know, we get the answer. The conversation's done. Boom, we're moved on 3.5 minutes later. Not, well, I'll talk to him about it later, right? It's one of the biggest things that I've learned from him is get it done and get it done right now. But here is even the more important quote to go along with that. So once you decide that you are going to get the most out of what you do when what you do matters, then you decide, what shall I do today or what should I do today? That's the question. That's the next question. What shall I do today? So what can I do? What could I do? Versus what should I do? And our life, and I guess I might be the only one, our lives can be full of, I should have done that. Am I the only one? I shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? And there are very few folks that are in the know of, I should have and I did have, and I went for it. And it's so funny because in many cases, those are the very folks that we like to make excuses for why they have their success, right? Oh, they were wealthy, or they got college for free, or they are, they are athletic, or it's who they know, not what they know. When at the end of the day, there are some people out there that are like that. But in most cases, you can point to the one thing that differentiates them, like Zach said, from everyone else. And it is that one person took action where another person just thought about it, right, Davile? I'm going to make a play place for my kids. You thought about it. Adrian did it. So that is really the thing I want to leave you with today, is that when we are thinking about our success, whatever that is, and I'm not just talking about business here. I'm not talking about real estate. I'm not just talking about business. I'm talking about personally, professionally. I'm talking about maybe you want to start a new hobby. Maybe you want to do something with your family. Maybe you want to get in better shape. I don't know what that one thing is. You know what it is. So whatever that is, ask yourself, what am I going to do today to move myself one step forward to what I want? What am I going to do today? Do I need to get an admin? Do I need to go to more training? Do I need to open myself up to bigger conversations? Do I need to take action? So what am I going to take action on today to get me to my end goal? And it's this focusing question. We come right back to this focusing question with Gary Keller. What is the one thing I can do today such that by doing it, everything else is easier or unnecessary? Everything else is easier or unnecessary. Now, I know my thing. I have 12 spots left for Wednesday's talk with Gary and the CEO of Zillow. And I want 12 folks. I'm reserving those 12 spots for people who don't know Keller Williams and need to hear what Gary has to say. And I'm going to be inviting them in. And that's my goal today. I've already met with Morgan. We've already got a strategy around it so that we can make sure that the folks that need to be in that room tomorrow are in that room. What is your goal today? What is your action item so that when you get to the end of the day, you can look back on your day and you can say, okay, remember from the 12-week year, I'm going to give myself a score. And if I'm at 85% or better, that's excellent. Perfection is overrated. So if my goal today is to have 15 conversations, when I get to the end of the day, how many conversations did I have? Did I get into action? So that is really the main thing I wanted to talk about today was getting into action. So the second thing I want to actually touch on is actually something Karen put in the chat box. Adrian talked yesterday about truth tellers. Do you guys remember that? What he said about truth tellers, having truth tellers in your life? I love this because Karen Wilkinson took action on it. She said, I listed my 3 truth tellers, and I will be asking them where they see my gap. I think that that is one of the most amazing conversations that you can have with someone, Karen. Good for you. Congratulations. What are you excited about, Karen, in that conversation? Or maybe what are you like, oh, I don't know. How are you feeling about it?
I'm fairly sure I know where my gap is, so there will be validation and accountability, but I may be surprised too, and that's okay. I am a truth teller, so I actually seek more truth tellers in my life.
Awesome. I love that. So it's so funny because Morgan yesterday came to me and she said, okay, where are my gaps? And I said, well, that's not the conversation. The conversation is what are some of the things you think I do well? So let me tell you that first. And then she said, and then I said, and then we'll talk about the gaps that I see that I can help you get through those and overcome those. So I love that. Don't forget, Karen, to have them tell you the good things about you because there are way more strengths there, lady, way more strengths there than opportunities. Let's don't give the opportunities too much weight, but those small gaps can help us make up ground, right? Make up ground. Terry said, what would be the best questions to ask? So when you ask, they will tell you the truth and let you know the gaps. So really it's more about, I'm glad you asked that, Terry. It's more about setting this up so that they feel comfortable giving you the truth, right? And so the conversation is like, hey, I was on this talk the other day and here's what I heard, and tell them what you heard and say, you know, you are one. Yes. Thank you, Karen. I give you permission. You are one of the first people that came to mind that I thought that I should call to ask you some questions about me and what I do well and what some of my gaps are. And the reason I'm calling you is because you're a truth teller and I know that you love me and that even if you think this might hurt my feelings a little bit, you know it's going to help me. So I give you permission today with no ramifications to tell me the truth of what you think I do well and what you think my gaps are that I could work on. And if they if they ask, you know, well, give me an example. What do you mean? And you say, well, what is it? When you spend time with me, or when you see me in my worst moments, or when you see me in my best moments, what's some feedback that you can give me that might help me get even better and have a higher level of self-awareness? There's that word, self-awareness. See, we talked about self-awareness last week, and then I got on something else, so we left it behind. But John Maxwell says that the way to blow the cap off of your capacity is to have a high level of self-awareness. That's how we become limitless. And what Adrian was talking about yesterday is that we need truth tellers in our lives to help us understand our gaps, to increase our level of self-awareness. So let them know that this is actually an exercise that you're doing to increase your level of self-awareness, and anything they can tell you is actually going to help you, and you will appreciate them because they are going to be a part of your growth, a part of your growth. Davile?
At Kane with the team, we did a book. It's called A Miracle Morning. I don't know if you read it. Fabulous book. And it's actually another thing that I never took action on. He actually advised, he had this email and there is a script for it. And he sent it to like 28 people in his circle. And it was exactly, that scripted the same way. What my 5 biggest strengths, and what you see that I could improve. So he had this fabulous script in a book. And actually I was thinking, and I was even typing it in to send it out, and then I took off doing some other activities. I never accomplished it, but the script is fabulous. So if you want, I can share it with you guys, because that's exactly about that.
Yeah, that would be great. If you want to email it to me, Davile, then I can put it in the chat box tomorrow morning on Limitless and everybody can download it.
Perfect, I'll do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Any other thoughts before we go? Okay, so I want to leave you with this one thought. What shall I do today? And what should I do today? So gut check for all of my real estate agents out there. And if you own another business where you have monthly and quarterly goals, where are you? It's February the 15th. What was your 12-week goal? Your 12-week year goal? You're halfway there, right? You're halfway there. Now, I just saw the energy change. Everybody went, ooh. Ooh. Okay. So here's your opportunity to put into action a plan to move closer to your target. If you went through the 10X rule, one of the things that was very pertinent in that is that it's a goal, yes, but it's a target. And if you're feeling like, well, Becky, I cannot put enough homes under contract to close by March 31st to hit my goal right now, then you're thinking about this in the wrong way. You're thinking about this from a place of perfection, not a place of progress. Okay? It is a target. It is a target. Don't give up on your target. Get closer to your target. Get closer to your target. And you decide if it's a closing goal or if it's a pending goal. But how would it look different if you say, okay, well, it's February the 15th. I'm only going to be able to get a cash deal under contract to get it to close by March 31st, if that's the case. Okay, so then this focus now turns into a pending goal. How many pendings can you get under so that you've already got a jump start on the second quarter? A jump start on the second quarter. Okay. So the main thing here is that when you face obstacles, perseverance is key. And perseverance comes from breaking things down into very small pieces and then getting clarity on what that is. So what should you do today versus what shall you do? So let's say your goal is Morgan on here. She's not on here this morning because they're all getting ready for family reunion today. But on my staff, on Morgan, It's 8 conversations every day, 8 conversations. And she gets so mad. Some days she'll come into me and she's like, this is stupid. I didn't set any appointments today. And I'm like, did you have 8 conversations? Yeah, I had 8 conversations, but I didn't set any appointments. Okay, the compound effect of those 8 conversations means that for her overall goal, she's 40% of the way there. But if she had not had those 8 conversations every day, this goal she wouldn't be 40% of the way there. What can you do every day such that by doing it, everything else becomes easier or unnecessary? Remember, success is time on task over time. I've got Morris on this call. He works with me and he was really frustrated yesterday. He's like, oh, I'm just not getting the results. I'm not getting the appointments. The reality is that until the only thing you can be in charge of is your what? Lead measures or lag measures? Lead measures. And your lead measures are your actions. Don't be tied to the outcome. It's your actions. Know your scripts. Build your database. Make sure your database has a high health score so that you have 3 modes of contact. Follow up with your database. Put them on a drip program. Have X number of conversations every day. Guys, that's all you can be in charge of. And so what happens is that preparation that you do every day is going to meet the opportunity. And then when I ask you about it, you're going to say, well, I got lucky. And the answer is luck is great. Gary Keller loves luck, and so do I. But luck happens when preparation meets opportunity. When you're in the midst of the action, opportunity arises and we get lucky. All right? We get lucky. So what should I do? What shall I do versus what should I do today? Pick the should do and just do it. Take action. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm super excited. I'll have some really cool stuff to share with you tomorrow from Family Reunion, and we're going to keep deep diving on productive action, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye.